Administration step up forfeiture activities against foreign-based assets of Russian oligarchs. Houston, Texas. In March 2022, in response to the Russia Federation action in the Ukraine conflict, the U.S. Treasury Department Office of Foreign Asset Control (OFAC) issued sanctions targeting Russian elites and business executives who are associates and facilitators of the Russian regime. The result of this sanction was to place the name of these individuals, often referred to as oligarchs, on the specially designated nationals and blocked person list (SDN list). More recently, in an effort to go further, on April 28, 2022, the administration released a package of proposals to establish new authorities for the forfeiture of property linked to Russian kleptocracy. According to the Justice Department, one of these proposals would amend IEEPA International Economic Powers Act 50 penalty provision to extend the existing forfeiture authorities to facilitating property, not just the proceed of the offense. Though legislation to amend IEEPA hasn't been yet introduced, the administration has ratcheted up forfeiture activities against assets outside of the United States since Russia's invasion of Ukraine. As the administration announced it on April 28, the U.S. Treasury has sanctioned and blocked vessels and aircraft worth over $1 billion. This alert details the reach of existing authority exemplified by the seizure of the motor yacht Amelia. The Amelia is a 348-foot yacht worth $300 million owned by sanctioned Russian oligarch Suleiman Kerimov. OFAC designation of Karimov effectively prohibited him from engaging in dollar-based transactions without an OFAC license. IEEPA authorized the President to declare a national emergency with respect to an unusual and extraordinary threat which has its source in whole or substantial part outside the United States to the national security, foreign policy, or economy of the United States. Under such a declaration, the government may block or prohibit any acquisition, holding, withholding, use, transfer, withdrawal, transportation, importation, or exportation of, or dealing in the property or interest of the property of an entity or individual listed on the SDN. Reflecting the lengthy history of sanction issues associated with the Russian conflict with Ukraine, on March 6, 2014, the President issued Executive Order (EO) declaring a national emergency with respect to the action of individuals who profited from the policies of the Russian government as to misappropriation of Ukraine's assets, including the annexation of the Crimea region. The Russia or Crimea sanction further prohibit the making of any contribution or provision of funds, goods, or services by, to, or for the benefit of any person on the SDN list. OFAC first designated Karimov on April 6, 2018 as being an official of the Russian government who benefited from the Russian president activities. OFAC placement of Karimov on the SDN list prohibited U.S. persons from engaging in any transfer of product or payments to or financing of any property interest of Karimov or any entity that is directly or indirectly 50% or more owned by Karimov. Specifically, the Federal Anti-Money Laundering Statute prohibits monetary transfer through the U.S. that promote the carrying on of specified unlawful activity. Nearly all U.S. dollar wire transactions are processed through correspondent bank account held in the U.S. The stated jurisdictional nexus is satisfied and violation of IEEPA constitutes specified unlawful activity. DOJ link amend to Karimov and seek its forfeiture. The amendment was sold in the Cayman Islands around August 2021 and subsequently registered in the name of Marine Investment Ltd. The motor yacht Amelia with International Maritime Organization, a Cayman Island-based law firm, paid a fee for registration of transfer or transmission. The Amelia has an annual operating cost of between $25 and $30 million. Amelia turned off its automated information system used by governmental authorities to identify vessels on February 24, 2022, immediately after Russia invaded Ukraine. Following the March 2022 imposition of sanctions by the Treasury Department, the Amelia sailed from the Caribbean through the Panama Canal to Mexico and on to Fiji with an alleged intent to sail to Vladivostok, Russia. Fijian authorities alerted the United States that the Amelia arrived on April 12. At the request of the United States, Fijian authorities searched the Amelia on April 13 and found numerous documents detailing transactions engaged in on behalf of the Amelia. The U.S. government contends that Karimov and those acting on his behalf engaged in U.S. dollar transactions for the operation and maintenance of the Amelia. Because Karimov and those acting on his behalf didn't obtain a license for U.S. dollar transaction, those transactions will be in violation. As the violation of IEEPA constitutes specified unlawful activity, the U.S. government contends Karimov violated and further that establishing probable cause for the criminal stated constitute probable cause for civil forfeiture under 18 U.S.C. This, in turn, would allow the forfeiture of proceeds of illegal activity, that is, property of any kind obtained directly or indirectly as the result of the commission of the offense giving rise to forfeiture, and any property traceable thereto. And as a result of this conspiracy, the government asserted Karimov was permitted the use and enjoyment of the Amelia and was able to maintain in it good repair, and thus that the Amelia is itself traceable to Karimov EEPA violation. On April 13, a Washington, D.C. federal magistrate judge authorized the seizure of the Amelia, C-28 U.S.C. Point 2, requiring forfeiture proceeding involving properly located in a foreign country or detained or seized by a foreign government be brought in the United States District Court for the District of Columbia. Counsel for Karimov appeared in Fijian court, but the Supreme Court of Fiji rejected legal challenges to the seizure on June 7.